Hello and welcome to Down to Watch, the podcast that asks, are you down to watch? And what you will always find here is pop culture talk. I'm your host, Kahmeela, here to review movies, TV, and music, and just whatever pop culture nonsense comes my way. In this special run, 6-episode run, I will be joined by my revisiting Sunnydale co-host and YouTuber, Marcella. We're talking.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, together we will be talking about the Walking Dead spinoff, The Ones Who Live. Welcome back. Marcella is no stranger to the show. She's helped me review Ryan Gosling movies, and we just love sitting around talking about movies and TV and celebrities and stuff. And once The Walking Dead, The Ones That Live started, after I watched 2 episodes, I'm like, I need to talk about this. I need to.
And I was very much the same. This is finally something I can watch and want to talk about.
Exactly. And it's only 6 episodes, so it's not a lifetime commitment. Like we could just...
Exactly. First of all, that kind of makes me sad that it's only 6 episodes, because that means we only have 4 left.
I know, right? But like the quality of these this show is just like cinematic. And I kind of wish like these episodes were like at least an hour and a half.
Yeah, yeah, kind of like the Stranger Things season 4 episodes that were like much cinema. Yeah,
it's like, if you're like, I understand you guys don't want to keep doing this for decades. That's cool. We don't really want to keep going. Like, always leave them wanting more. It was better to burn out or fade away. But just give me just a little bit more each week, just a little bit. Yeah, like I'm already just like. Like I'm already just like when it ends, like I'm every episode I'm just like like it's not enough.
I know
it's not enough. So finally,
and I don't know about you, but for me, the Walking Dead journey ended with Rick's last episode.
I had to when I heard that this show was coming on. Like I continued watching after Rick had left and after Michonne left and all that stuff. But like I got into the last season. And I was just like, I don't have it I can't do it anymore. Like the last season. And I just didn't watch it for months. And then when I heard this was coming back, because I heard this was coming, I was like, well, I guess I got to go ahead and finish this up. Like wrap this puppy up. Like, but
was it worth it though? Did you need to watch it to understand? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Well, I mean, no, not really, because there's a nice little in the final episode, there's a nice post-credit scene that I could have watched on YouTube. Yeah, exactly. Like it wasn't necessary. And I was afraid that, and as I was watching, I started thinking, oh, maybe there'll be some more, they'll pop back in, or it's like, oh shit, am I going to have to watch this Daryl Dixon thing and also the Negan and Maggie bullshit? And I'm like, wait, no, those guys aren't involved. So no, I'm not going to have to watch that.
Nope.
Which thank God, because I didn't have that.
Not doing the Fear of the Walking Dead, not doing the World Beyond, not doing none of that bullshit.
No, like I tried to watch The Fear way back when it started and I was not interested. I didn't care about any of those people. I didn't even try the universe because there's children and I was like, I don't care. I know I don't care about none of y'all. Like, so.
No. You're all going to be annoying. I don't get now.
And then I tried to watch.
I did watch Rick's shorts, the ones about his axe, how he got his axe. I did watch those.
I didn't see
that. Other than that, those like the what was it, Alexandria shorts where you got to. I don't care about those people.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't care about those people.
Right. And I watched like a half of the first episode of Daryl's, and it's like he's like in France with like a bunch of like not like he's like he finds himself in some sort of like convent with some nuns, and they're telling him like he needs to. Look, it gets better. Like he needs to escort some child who they believe is the next Messiah. And I was like, and I'm out. Like,
and I'm gone. Now, thanks to this show, I have seen that we have something called the Book of Carol coming up. And I'm like, well, yep. Okay. I'm in for that.
The Book of Carol. Really?
Yes. So there is whatever this Daryl Dixon bullshit is.
Yeah.
The second season is called the Book of Carol.
Interesting. Great.
And it's all about her. And I'm like, okay, well, now I'm interested.
Right. Now I want to know because that was another reason. That was another reason why I finished watching The Walking Dead was like, I need to know who doesn't make it. Because I didn't want to be like, I didn't want that to be like, blah, blah. And I assumed, not knowing anything about Daryl Dixon's show, I assumed that Carol did not make it, which is why he went off on his own. Like, that's kind of what I thought was happening. But no, she made it. Like, God bless her.
No,
Of course,
she just
Carol
didn't want to
makes
go
it.
to France.
Right. Of course,
Like,
Carol
no,
makes it.
nah, of course,
Like,
of course, Carol makes it.
like,
And the
I'm
thing
good.
with Walking Dead for me is, it's kind of like Friends and the trifle.
Mm.
Rick, good. Michonne, good. Negan, good. Maggie, good. But
Yeah.
somehow, all of it together ends up tasting like feet. And I can't do it. I can't do it.
It's not okay because, like, as much as I love Negan's character, I don't think he should have died.
He should have died.
He should have been killed off, because I just don't see in no world do you beat my husband to death in front of me.
In front of me.
Yeah, while I'm pregnant. And I'm just going to be okay with you at some point to, like, go off and travel with you?
Save my son.
No. It's on site. Like, as soon as she showed up, when she saw him there, to be like, bam. All right, so now, like, that's it. Done. And that would have been... that would have made me right. That would have made me so happy. Like, had they spent that time like rehabilitating him, and as soon as Maggie shows up, she just shoots him dead in his head, and that would have been amazing. It. I would have. That would have been like, that's top tier television right there, guys.
Yeah.
So that answers my questions. Like, about like all the other things. And okay, so were you straight up? Were you a Michonne shipper?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. Like, the chemistry between the two of them is so natural and easy.
It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me.
And that's why, the dream sequence in the first episode between, like, his happy little dream sequence with Michonne in the purple suit.
Yeah, the meet cutes.
Yes. Is so effortless that for a minute I was like, wait, is this real? Did they... Did they meet in the real world and we forgot? Like, did they just forget that they knew each other?
That would have been crazy.
Yeah. So I was so confused. I'm like, no, this is just his cute little, his gone wonky brain.
And I love the fact, like, I was just talking to Dan today about their chemistry, and like, because he asked, like, do they ever like actually get together on camera? And I was like, yeah, they had like a couple of sex scenes, sort of, like, you know, minimal ones on The Walking Dead, but that's not even where the chemistry even really lives. Just like the little things, the little interactions that they do with each other. Just like, when she's asking for him to pick up toothpaste for her, and they give like a little low high five together, or just like the whole domestic vibe that they've got going on with each other. And then, like, remember when, like, they fell through a roof, and they found like all this army supplied like type food and stuff, and they're talking, and then he was like, I was saving this for the last. I was saving this one for you. And he's like, pulls out macaroni. He's like, macaroni and cheese or whatever. He's like, come on. And I'm like,
if we get into guns, it doesn't matter if it takes a little longer. Wait, I've been waiting to show you this one. It's chili and mac and cheese together. Come on.
It's just effortless, and it's so good.
And so much so, like, I would be concerned if I was Andrew Lincoln's wife. I would be concerned.
And boy, time has done him well. He just looks even better than he did. What was it, 10 years ago, 6 years ago, however many years have passed?
Yeah, like, he looks like the tactile army uniform, like that whole black getup that he wears, that is a good look for you, sir.
Yes, like even the jumpsuit with the orange bands, like when he's stabbing the walkers outside of the gate, which, dude, okay, I understand you want to get free.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's
talk about the hand first. Like, I understand in the comics, Rick did lose his hand, so we've been wondering for years, how is he going to lose his hand and when?
Right.
This was not the way to do it.
It's like, y'all waited until this to do that? And then
Rick is smarter than this.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm okay. So I'll go on, take me on this journey, and I'll just say like this was his last ditch, his desperation that just really got to him at this point, because I didn't think it was gonna happen, because it was like what, the first 5 minutes of the episode.
And I'm watching it going, but why don't you just cut is it a metal rope? Is that why the axe won't cut the rope? Do you at least want to try a swing?
Yeah, try it. Just give it a whirl. Just try. Just one hack, just to see.
I mean, I guess it would have pulled the guy forward and they would have known what he was doing. Okay, sure.
But either way, like, because it's still a hand. Like, you chop it off, it's just a hand that's left, and dude, it's going to zip back to and smack dude in the face.
And you left it behind. Why did you leave it behind? Because chances are you're going to get caught.
Yeah.
And you've got medical supplies. They probably could have reattached it had you taken it with you.
Yeah, just take. And what took him so long to cauterize the wound? Like, you passed like 3 flaming zombies before he decided to go ahead and close that up.
Yeah,
like,
and my question about that is, didn't he get like walker germs in the cut?
Let's
Even
say fire.
He cauterized it right away.
Fire is purifying. And why are the walkers burning from the inside out? So, like, speaking of unique zombies, one of the things that were in the last few episodes of The Walking Dead was that the zombies evolved into climbing.
Yeah, what's that about?
And turning doorknobs and attacking.
Picking things up.
Yeah. They
can pick things up.
Now, and they just left that without explanation whatsoever. Like, y'all you throw this in here, the 12th hour, and just, nah, we're not going to talk about it anymore. No, it's not okay. Like, mind you, when we started the show, and I think the first episode, the zombies were doing that. They weren't climbing, but I think they were like, I remember one using a rock to break a glass or something, and also the little girl that Rick encounters, she was like holding a teddy bear or something like that.
Yeah, she had that stupid bear in her hand.
Yeah, and so
now did she die with it in her hand, or did she pick it up?
Yeah, and so we just never get back. There's no explanation on that.
No,
they're just all like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, what the fuck is that, guys?
What the fuck is that? How about we talk about it? Also, was it when did we go to the CDC? End of season 1?
Yeah, I think so.
And we find out that everybody's fucked. Everybody's infected. And then we never talk about it until Rick tells everybody in season 2.
Right.
And then I feel like we never bring it up again.
No.
This is a hopeless world. Even if we get rid of every single walker that's on the face of the planet, the next time a person dies,
they're
going to turn into a walker, unless they're immediately burned.
Right. And so there's like, you just got like all sorts of people just like dying of natural causes out there by themselves, or just dying whatever by themselves and not being taken care of. And yeah, that's constantly running in my mind is like, when I'm watching this show, it's like, when will they all be gone though? Like when, like how many
end
more
game?
How many more herds can there be?
Do we know, since you've caught up, do we know the kids that have been born since the outbreak, do they carry the infection as well?
I don't know. That was never addressed.
Because if they don't,
that's a good question.
Then eventually it'll die out.
Right. That's a really good question.
But see, they never talk about it, and it drives me crazy. That's why I had to stop watching, because there's no end game for me. Where's the finish line? I can't do this forever. I just can't live in this hopeless world where we meet happy people and they die and they say, I can't do it.
Yeah, it gets really. I feel like the last season was kind of sloppy and unnecessary.
Well, like this guy that works in upper management that Rick meets.
So we got some new characters.
He's going to die.
Lieutenant Colonel Donald Okafor.
Okafor. Let's talk about Okafor. Why?
Played by Craig Tate, who is doing his damnedest Denzel Washington impression.
He's got the best voice I've ever heard.
Yeah.
It's like silky butter.
It's like tell me more. Like I don't really I'm no interest in your plan, but I just want to talk to me.
Yep.
I came down here because I spoke with Major General Bill.
About me?
Yeah. You are lucky you got a friend in high places.
You're my friend, huh?
Rick Gallo be the head of what is likely the most powerful military on the planet on your behalf. I am possibly the best friend you ever had.
The words that you're saying are not computing. I'm just listening to the cadence of your voice, sir, but continue.
Yeah, so this guy who claims to be, Rick is his charge, is what he said. And his plan is to change the CRM from the inside.
Sure, Rick, that won't go wrong.
Yeah, that's never a fucking path to destruction. So Rick and some woman named Pearl Thorne,
who we all know as Mazikeen from Lucifer. Yes, she was on Lucifer. She was Lucifer's number 2, and she was a badass. I also met her at Wizard World a long time ago. Got her autograph. She was very sweet.
That's awesome. Yeah, it took me the longest time. I couldn't really understand a lot of what she was saying. But
yeah, she's got a very terrible accent on this show. I don't know why they're making her do it.
So that's not her real accent?
No, it's not. No, it is not.
Well, that's unnecessary.
Yes, it is. It's very Bianca Lawson.
Why are we doing this?
Don't know.
Because I feel like she has important things to say. I would like to understand all of them.
Yeah. Now, Okafor, right away, I was like, okay, I like you. I want to know more about you. The second John Locke walked in that door, what is it, Terry Quinn?
Terry O'Quinn.
Terry O'Quinn. I was like, nope, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. This is bad. This place is bad. We're up to no good.
He's up to something. He's up to something. Yes. You don't bring Terry O'Quinn on a show to play the good guy. He's never going to be just, it's Papa. No. Terry O'Quinn carries secrets.
No. Now, I don't know about you, but me watching seasons 1 through 9, anywhere Rick goes, it's sure to fall. Just give it time. Just give it time.
That's exactly what I've been saying all this time. Is like, Rick, like once he got to Alexandria, I was like, they have a point, like about like the Deanna's son. Was talking about we were fine until Rick showed up, and it's like, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. Sure, the governor, bad guy, but they were doing just fine.
They were doing just fine until Rick. Rick is very famous for giving a fuck when it's not his turn to give a fuck.
Yep.
And that's what was like.
It bit him in the ass when it came to Negan because he got too big for his britches. Yep. He was like, I got this. I can do. And you finally met your match with that one.
Yep. It's like you found out. What does Negan say? It's like you found out there's a whole lot of shit you don't know about shit, or to find out you don't know shit about a bunch of shit. It's like It's like that was uncomfortable for you. And
I think my favorite was when he was like, "Ooh, Rick, you better watch the way you're looking at me."
Right. It's like that look right there.
Like, you forget who you're looking at. He go beat your brains in with a rare style.
Right. It's like, don't look at me in that tone. That was Negan's whole thing.
Yep.
He was, and Rick just kept it going, and it wasn't in this episode. We get to a point where we see Rick is just as hopeless. I haven't seen him that hopeless and desperate since that night with Negan in the bats. Like the first night he meets Negan, and also like when he's telling him to cut, when he threatens him to make him cut Carl's hand off.
Yeah. Yep. And if you're gonna go and unalive yourself, slitting your own throat is not. That's not the way to do it.
Out of all, you are literally on an army base, on a military base. There's all sorts of things and ways that could happen. That's going to take a long time. It's going to be long and painful, and you're going to come back as a walker.
Exactly. Excuse me. So why would you do that to the people? Like,
right, Rick, just
you're hopeless, but you're not a dick. But Okafor is an interesting character, and his backstory was horrifying.
Oh yeah,
absolutely
he's the one
absolutely horrifying.
He's in charge of bombing Atlanta and LA, which I guess that's where the Fear of the Walking Dead starts, is whenever that bombing was in LA. And his wife, like he was on his way to bomb Philadelphia as well. And his wife was also in the military? Is that?
Yep. Yeah. And I think she was like, we can't do this. And
he killed her. He said, I killed my wife. Like, okay, you, sir, are cold as fuck and care nothing about, all you care about is the uniform, is the military.
Yep.
And so, but yet he wants to change the way the CRM is from the inside. And I don't understand, like, what he's trying to change it into. Like,
right. You've already done the worst. Has the worst now made you see that it needs to be better?
Yeah. And what is it exactly that needs to be better? Like, what else are y'all? I guess, we'll see that they are still like bombing just random areas with napalm. And
and we found out about Portland.
Right. Yeah.
That they bombed Portland, which is also, I think, on The World Beyond.
Okay.
I think that was connected to that show.
Yeah, so one of my big problems with The Walking Dead is never fully understanding where the fuck they are.
Yep. Are we in Atlanta? Why are you talking about Omaha and Portland? Where are we? You got somebody in New York, somebody in Paris, Omaha, Portland, Los Angeles. I don't know where we are.
Yeah, I have I know we started in Atlanta. At some point, they get to Virginia. I don't know where Michonne is, actually. I just need to connect the dots as to where everybody is and how they even get to each other, finally. Because it doesn't, like, you're on horseback. Like, you guys, we're not driving cars. It's not it's that simple. There's no planes to hop and just kind of get going somewhere. Like, there's a lot of walking.
The CRM, I get. They got helicopters. Yeah. I get.
But it's
the rest of you?
It's so wild to me that Michonne and Rick do end up actually crossing paths. Like, once we know where he is.
Right.
And what happened to him.
After a half-grown child, they just happen upon each other in the same field.
Yeah. Just in the same fight, almost slit his throat.
Which, you make me like Okafor, and then here we are. And of course, I missed something along the course of the episode because I was like, when the fuck did Rick learn how to fly a helicopter? I was like, could he always fly a helicopter? Is this when did this happen?
Yeah, this must be something part of the CRM training? Part of
guess.
His military training? Because
I was like, because at first I thought he was just like sitting in the co-pilot seat.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But it's like, oh, you're flying this. Okay.
Right.
Like,
then
you are the pilot.
exploded. And I was like, oh, you're flying.
Well,
which did
because I thought for sure the place the thing was going down because I didn't think Rick was flying that.
Me too. I was like, if Rick is flying, we are fucked because we're going down. He don't know how to fly a helicopter, but apparently he does. Apparently he does. And look good doing it too.
I can't even take it. Like, I don't. It's not
It's
even
unreal.
necessarily. It's not even necessarily like Andrew Lincoln that I think I'm attracted to Rick Grimes and not Andrew Lincoln necessarily.
No, because I always forget that Andrew Lincoln is British. So when he uses his real voice, I'm like, oh.
Yeah. It's like, oh, that's not gruff and grimy at all. Like,
right. And normally I like a Brit. I am a British fan.
Yeah, same. Like the British accent usually brings you up like 10 to 20 points. But
there are two instances, Andrew Lincoln and David Beckham, where it just doesn't work. It just doesn't. Just shh.
I want David Beckham to never speak.
Don't ever speak. Just don't.
I tried to watch there was a documentary on Netflix I tried to watch, and I was like, no. Can somebody else tell his story?
Right? Just no. Mm-mm. Now, one thing I did love about that scene with Okafor was these little, I don't know about you, but it shocked the shit out of me, these little screaming whistle things that shot them out of the air.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, where did these come from? What is that? How did it take down a helicopter, and what is going on?
It's like, I am impressed by your magic, sir.
And it leads us to Michonne, just out here slitting throats. At least, take a minute to, at least thankfully she took a minute with Rick, or she would have slit his throat too.
That would have been really messed up. So another new character we've got. So we've got some new characters. We got Okafor. We've got Terry O'Quinn. You know what? It doesn't matter what his character name is. I'm always going to. I mean, he's going to be referred to on this show as either John Locke or Terry. Terry O'Quinn.
It is Beale. His name is Beale, but
yes, Major General
John
Beale.
Locke. Yeah.
And we've got Pearl and Esteban.
The best Rick's upper management man in the world.
Right. Rick's just a little random buddy who is in the power and water supply, utility, something or another, but is somebody that Rick has begrudgingly befriended. And, he's just one of those happy-go-lucky dudes, just like, I just love life. I'm so excited to get into that building because they have AC. That is my dream right now. And considering the world they live in, that's understandable, sir.
Yep. And bless his little heart, 95% sure Rick will use him and somehow he'll end up dead.
Yeah. If not already, because, somebody had to have seen him give him directions on where to go once he tried to another failed attempt of escape into the sewer.
Yep. Not a good plan, Rick. Not a good plan.
It's just, it must be so wild because he's just so used, he spends how many years, 10, 15 years in control and as a leader and everything. And now to be put in this place, I guess he's there for 6 years and now he has no control, has no leadership, but they want him to be. So which brings me to A's versus B's. Jadis.
Yes.
Garbage lady.
Love that you call her Garbage Lady, because that's exactly what I said when she came on screen in the recap. I was like, yes, it's Garbage Lady. I actually am a big fan of Jadis.
I don't know where, I didn't mind her in the Walking Dead. Especially once she turned. Once all her people got slaughtered, then she started speaking normally, and
yes,
and went on
when she became a normal character,
right? It's like, okay, we could talk, but now I don't know what to think of her, where she's coming up. And again, the next episode we'll talk about that a little bit more. But this one, all we know is that she saved Rick's life, in more ways than one, because she saved him. He washed up on a riverbank after the bridge exploded, and she got her people. She was part of the CRM, I guess, that whole time. I don't know what she was doing down there. I guess she was just collecting people for them. But there's A's and B's. And I guess, was she calling Gabriel an A? I think she was calling Gabriel.
I guess she was calling Gabriel an A, which
originally.
Have you met Gabriel?
I was like, really? It's he's not even a B. No. Gabriel, just, you don't, no. But then, when she gets Rick, she walkies over and says, I have a B. So what we learned is that A's are considered leaders, and people will follow them, and they'll do what they can. The people will follow them; they're leaders, and they'll try to take power. And so what the CRM does is that they kill them. They bring them in and kill them.
Mm-hmm.
And so she called Rick a B, which is considered to be just people, everyday people, just doing their best to
go along to get along.
Yeah, and they're
Does
the
that
ones
mean
that they
Jadis
want.
just wanted to kill Gabriel? Was she just fuck Gabriel?
Right.
Which I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, like he never redeemed himself to me. Like the moment he rolled in, and from the moment like nope, I don't like Gabe. We are not friends. But yeah, I think maybe there was like a flip flop at one point. Like I don't know, I don't recall. But yeah, so her calling Rick a B saved his life in more ways than one, and so now Okafor recognizes he's actually an A, and so this is why he's using him and Pearl to try to change the system from the inside. And Rick
I don't
is still
see how Pearl's a leader.
She's just mad.
She's just mad and wants to go along to get along.
Yeah.
And keeps telling, but she
everybody.
Keeps saving Rick too. She's like, stop fucking around. Let's go.
Just trying to do my bit, man. I'm just trying to get by. And I
thought it was very interesting that Rick came across on his last escape attempt, he comes across another child. Our very first episode, he comes across a Walker child. This episode, he's trying to get away. I thought for sure this was another Walker child until that little bitch screamed. And I was like, shit. I'd have punched her in the face accidentally. Because she would have scared the shit out of me. And I'd have felt real bad.
On my way through the sewer, yeah. It would have been like, I would have thought about it later.
I picked her up, brought her with me. We got no time for your mouth.
Right. So what poor Rick has been doing all this time is, every attempt to get out, he's been writing letters to Michonne and putting them in a bottle, message in a bottle, tossing them in the sea, and then we find out after this failed attempt again, it's escape number 4, when Pearl tells him to come back, she's like, Okafor knows about you. Meaning, so I guess Rick has been keeping all of his personal information close to the vest all this point in time, and now dude knows he's been reading his letters. Like he found his letter in a bottle, read it, and he's threatening, basically. If you run off, if you escape again, if you actually escape, I will find you because Michonne is a very unusual name.
Yeah.
And I will kill you and everybody else and her and anybody else who has to come along.
And poor Rick is just like, well, you got me.
After he beats his ass a little bit.
Yep.
And he's just like, I don't want any power. I don't want the power.
And Okafor really takes the beating well and is just like, let's just move on. Like,
right, yeah.
You got that out of your system. Let's go on.
Literally.
You done?
It's are we done? Are you done? And yeah, he maybe gets in a couple punches on him, but for the most part, he does. He's just like, yeah, it's cool. I know you're angry. Let it out, buddy. Let it out. So while they're on their way, so Rick at this point decides, okay, well, I'm going to just go ahead and he burns all his letters and notes and this little iPhone 4 that he had sketch drawings
in Japanese because he knows Japanese. Apparently,
when did Rick learn Japanese? I didn't know Rick could draw.
Nope. It's been a long 6 years apparently.
Yeah, no, so many hidden talents. Where did you pick up Japanese? That's what that's what I need to know.
Yeah, not sure. Don't know where that happened. Don't get it. But and that same night they found out that another city has been bombed and destroyed. But I don't think they find out right then and there, or maybe they do, that it is the CRM doing it.
Yeah, I don't.
I think that's what propels Rick to
well, this is my life.
This place sucks too.
Yep.
Must take it down. Here's the next group I must destroy.
So he moves on, and then they're in the helicopter, and they're off to go where I don't remember. Are they on their way to? I don't know.
I don't know where they're going.
They're going
well,
somewhere.
he does. Oh, so Okafor is like, you have to do this or I'm going to kill everybody you know. And so he gives Rick the job to set up the college. And over the course of the next year, Rick sets up this command center. We're finally in the present day. All of that. This whole episode was just getting to find out where Rick has been this past.
Like
these past 6 years. Really?
What I did was my summer vacation, like basically, but
right.
And so Okafor gets exploded, and he's the helicopter's gone down, and a fight ensues. Michonne, like we see a figure. Obviously, we all know like immediately it's Michonne because they're.
I was like, it's her!
Right, wielding this samurai sword like as only our girl can do. And she like just slicing and dicing on her way, and then Rick is on the ground and she is about to slice him up too, and until he takes his mask off, or she takes his mask off, and that moment
he blocked her with his metal hand.
Yeah.
And that's when she took his mask off, and it was like, ooh! And that's when I was like, I know it's over. I know it. I know it's over.
I was so upset. I was so upset when it ended on that. And I'm like, I'm glad. I was glad that they did the reuniting in this first episode, because had I had to wait another episode for them to find each other, I probably wouldn't have made it. But then again, it was also like, and credits. Like,
yes. And then they kind of, I know we'll get to it, but they kind of screwed us again. Because we were for an entire week thinking, we get to find out what happens. We get to find out they're going to kiss and be so happy. Nope.
Like, no, let's tell you what Michonne's been up to.
Let's see what she did on her summer vacation.
It's like, you guys.
You could have done this at the same time. We could have been flipping and flopping back and forth.
Yeah, because there was I don't feel like we needed the whole 40 minutes to tell Rick's story.
I don't feel like we need about 40 minutes of Michonne's story either. There's some draggy parts.
There are. But yeah, so our friends are back together, and
they're back together.
Love it. This has got like kiss. This has got to be the one. Arguably, this is like one of the best love stories on television.
It ranks up there.
Just the way, just the pacing of it all, even just like how they get together, and there was never any will they, won't they,
Right.
And I feel like that's a trope that like obviously all sitcoms fall into it, but then there's also like the dramas that fall into it as well. But there was never like, it was just kind of like it happened so gradually, and it makes sense. Like every move and every moment makes sense. It's not like it may feel like it was out of nowhere, but no. Like when you go back and look at and just watch it all, it's like, yes, that is a natural progression.
There was a one day where there was a look, and I was like, oh did I? Did I just see what I thought? Oh.
It's like, oh, I see you. Like early on, like there were a couple of times I noticed him, like how he looked, the way he looks her up and down, like the way.
Sir.
Like you are caressing her body with your eyes.
Sir. And he has a smile for her that he doesn't have for anybody else.
Lori could never.
No.
Lori could have never.
No. And I'm so glad they didn't follow the comic path, because I hated Andrea. I'm so glad she died.
Yeah.
It would have just been, no thank you.
Yeah. And there was also, I think they had Michonne with Ezekiel for a while in the comics.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Which like and Ezekiel, he's another one, like towards the end, it's like him and his fucking monologues, like the speeches, like, sir.
And your 40-pound hair.
Who gets themselves in a zombie apocalypse and thinking, yeah, this makes sense?
Not me. Not me.
Just shave it off.
I guess when you have a tiger, you can have heavy hair because your tiger's doing a lot for you.
Oh, yeah. And that was another question. I always wondered, what did the tiger eat the walkers, and that was okay? Because it takes a lot to
feed a tiger.
Yeah. Like, I can't imagine, like, you're barely hanging on eating. Like, how is this tiger, how is this, how?
Right. And how's it not getting infected?
Yeah. And another just random this world question, and we're going to be wrapping up here, is that where are we mass producing these uniforms? And like, nobody just found a warehouse with
Nope.
CRM uniforms
Nope.
just in there. Where's the mass production happening, and where are we getting these banners printed too? While we're
That
at it,
too.
like,
They have a Betsy Ross type that's just stitching stuff. You know, they've got special. Where are they getting the material, the synthetic fibers? Because you need like goats to make wool.
Yeah.
So where are all the goats? Where are all the animals? I see horses, and there was one dog named Dog, but
right.
Where are the birds?
Well, there were a bunch of crows happening around like whatever season was after Rick left, and there was the point when they were like at the prison, they had pigs.
They had pigs. But where are you making fiber? I don't. Maybe they found a warehouse of blank uniforms and just a lot of
I swear,
thread.
some of those tactile shirts have like spandex in them. Like, there's no way. Like, where are you getting this stuff? I mean, I'm sure there's like a sentence or two that can just clear it up for me. Like, I don't need a whole episode. Just
a sentence or two.
That's all.
But I'm thinking we'll get it as we get into what the CRM does and how things are going to progress. But we only have 4 episodes to do it in, so.
I know. All right. Until then, that's where we will leave you for now with a lot of questions. And also, I'm still trying to figure out the map situation, like the geography of their thing. That's the other thing.
If you know where they are, tell us. Let us know.
Help. And and that was just when in his meet cute dream where Rick is like, do you know cartography? She's like, no, but I know where things are.
I love that meet cute dream. It was so special. And it must have been a lot of fun for them to film. I know.
And just natural light, both of them in like regular clothes, all clean. And Denai's hair just like looking beautifully spot on, just flawless. Just
love it.
Look at her. Look at her glow. Look at her, her skin. Oh, that skin.
Mm-hmm. And she's sweet too. I met her at a convention one year too, and she was late for her panel just because to talk to us. It was very nice.
That's awesome. I know. I walked past her during a like in the green room or something in a convention years ago, and didn't want to bother her. I wish I had.
Well, she had family in Wilkinsburg. When she found out where we were from, she was like, "Oh, really? I have family there." And her handler was like, "You have to go for your panel." She was like, "I'm talking. Give me a minute."
Like, don't you know they'll wait.
Right.
Wait.
And I wasn't into Walking Dead at the moment yet, so I was like, "No, you got to go. Go ahead.
You got things to do.
You got things to do. I'm not even a fan. Like, you can go. I don't have anything to say to you. I'm only getting your autograph for a friend."
I've been a fan of Michonne since day one, since she showed up wielding her walkers on chains.
She's amazing, and I'm so glad to be back in this world with her and Rick.